Folks, we are in part one of our four-part mini-series regarding the seals in the book of Revelation, and I think this is important because I am calling this a preview of things to come. So we are watching a miniature version of what we know is going to happen in the final days, and I think this is a great argument for why Christians need to be involved in the political arena, because the Bible says that what is in essence keeping what we know is going to take place in Revelation chapter 6 from coming into full fruition is indeed the fact that Christians are alive on this earth and filled with the Spirit, right? We are the restraining force that keeps the final Antichrist from showing up. But let's talk about preview versions of the final Antichrist. And let's read what Revelation chapter 6 has to say. We'll read the first few verses. It says, "And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, 'Come and see.' And I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer." Now, I believe that the white horse is, of course, the final Antichrist. And I will also say this, I think it's very important to understand this. This is a description of a man who does have the purpose of conquering and to conquer, but I want you to notice that he has a bow and a crown was given unto him, but there's no speaking of an arrow. And that means basically he obtained his rule or authority without any type of war. He did it in essence through the manipulation, the idealism in which he speaks. And anytime we see totalitarian rulers come into play, understand throughout world history, we've never seen them come in and say, "I'm just going to rule because I said to rule." They have to have a growing influence. If you take, for example, a picture of an Antichrist that actually got ugly later, but initially used their influence, their idealism, their sort of revolutionary talk to gather the support of the people in the country. Adolf Hitler's a good example of that, right? Came without a bow, did nothing of the type of things that he did in his later rule and reign. And in reality, what he did was he influenced people by his ideals, by his amazing oratory skills. And the final Antichrist that's coming is going to do the same exact thing. Now, the reason why Hitler was not able to succeed to the length that he could have succeeded is because of those that were believers, right? That were filled with the Spirit of God, whose influence put a stop to that totalitarian ruler. And as long as there are Christians on the earth, they're going to put a stop to it. But if you have looked at some of the Antichrist of the past, it'll blow your mind when you think of Stalin and Hitler and some of these other peoples that we've talked about. Mao. There's so many different examples that we can use of it. And imagine how deadly and how terrible they've been throughout the years. Imagine just how bad it's going to be when the final Antichrist comes into play and there is no restraining force keeping him from doing what he's doing. So that's the first seal, the coming Antichrist, and we're seeing examples of it today. We have many Antichrists all over the world right now that we are watching do this, but they are restrained because of the filling of the Spirit of God in the lives of Christians who are putting a stop to it. But the rise in totalitarianism is unbelievable, including the United States of America, folks. So I think we need to open up our eyes, and off to the next seal we go. God bless you.